Good morning, children. Good morning, sir. Okay. Now, we have learned about life processes. What are life processes? Quick. What are life processes? Tell. Basic lifespan. Lifespan is how long you survive. Not. Yes, Ashish. Tell. Basic processes in life performed by organisms to sustain life. They are examples. Now I asked what are life processes. I had not examples. Please sit down. Okay, the basic functions performed by living organisms to sustain life, to stay alive. What functions they do? No. So in that we have learnt. Okay, nutrition. Okay, then we have learnt respiration. Okay, then we have learnt transportation. Okay, so today, now theoretical part we have learnt. Now today let us go in detail about the body organs. Other day, remember, I told the lungs are protected by rib cage, and I told that there are 12 pairs of ribs or 24 ribs. Now this rib cage, in this 12 pairs, floating. And okay, two bones, they are connected only to the backbone, they are not connected to the outside, they are not connected to breastbone here. Now this is breastbone. Okay, so now the function of this is to protect soft internal organs like lung and heart. Okay, now here, see, you can see here, now there are pair of lung, pleura. Okay, a membrane, it is a membrane surrounding the, okay, it is made up. Okay, loops and chest. Okay, now these are pair of lungs, this is right lung, this is left lung. Okay, now this is your heart. So heart is situated between the two lungs, but and then that normally compared to the systole and diastole of atria, the systole and diastole of ventricles are more, or it is higher. Okay, it is higher. Okay, so due to that, so when the ventricles contract, relax, they form a kind of ripples in the, which are here. Okay, now here, now these two are the part, like, now this is right atrium, left atrium. Okay, and then down here you have the left ventricle and the right ventricle. Okay, now you can see the small blood vessels here. Now these are coronary blood vessels, the blood vessels that supply blood to the heart for its functioning. Coronary blood vessels. Okay, now here you can see here, no, that now this is, now these two, now this is the opening of pulmonary artery. Pulmonary artery. Now what does the pulmonary artery does? What does it do? It carries deoxygenated blood from the right ventricle to the lungs for purification. Okay, now there will be semilunar wall, the largest artery in our body, that is aorta. Okay, now the aorta is the left ventricle pumps the blood into this. Okay, and the opening of both have semilunar valves, and the semilunar valves close when the blood enters in the respective blood vessel. Okay, body parts. There is larynx or voice box, what we call it as voice box. Okay, larynx. Okay, or it is called voice box. Now the larynx contains, okay, the strings of cartilage. Strings of cartilage. You know cartilage. Last year I learned cartilage. You have learned no cartilage. Not learnt. Cartilage. Okay, these are like no bones are hard, cartilage is soft. So they are got thin strands, and when the strands vibrate or when the air passes over the strands, they vibrate, producing the sound. So when I'm able to speak, so when I like no the air, it's allowed to pass on that. Okay. Now this is liver, the largest gland in the human body. Liver. Okay. Now what is the function of liver? Liver secretes bile. Okay. Liver secretes bile. Okay. Can anybody tell me? Okay. Now what is the function of bile? Whether bile has any enzyme? Whether bile has any enzyme? Bile has any enzyme? No. Then what is the role of bile then? What is the role of bile? Yes, Purvi. One is emulsification of fat. The other one? It alkaline medium for the action of which enzyme needs alkaline medium? Trypsin. Trypsin needs alkaline medium. Pepsin needs acidic medium for its action, whereas trypsin needs alkaline medium. Okay, so the liver secretes. Now this is like no, it is called bile duct. Bile duct. That means whatever bile is produced, it is carried by this. You can see a green color. Bile duct. Bile. This is stomach. Okay. Now stomach secretes gastric juice. Correct. Now what does gastric juice contain? Gastric juice contains mucus. It contains enzyme called pepsin. Then one more. It contains renin. Then one more lipase over there. One more dilute hydrochloric acid. Diluted. So the main three things are, okay, it secretes enzymes, it secretes dilute hydrochloric acid, and it secretes mucus. So mucus protects the inner lining. It protects the inner lining. It forms a layer. It protects the inner lining. Small intestine. The small intestine. An organ called vermiform appendix. Vermiform appendix. Vermiform means worm shape. Worm shape. Vermiform means worm shape. Okay. Now it does not have any role to play, but its main role is digestion of cellulose. Okay. Digestion of cellulose. That means it is fully functional in herbivorous animals. It is fully functional in herbivorous animals. Okay, we don't have any role in our body because we don't eat much cellulose, and whatever cellulose we eat, it acts as a roughage for the food to move. Okay, now this is an indication that we were once upon a time herbivorous. We were once upon a time herbivorous animals. You remember our people, like no, the ancestors used to stay in caves. They used to eat the leaves and fruits from the trees, and they used to cover their body with the leaves and bark of the tree. Okay, at that time. Okay, this was fully functional. Now, as we changed our lifestyle, it became smaller and smaller. Okay, and now it is only an indication. It's just to prove that we were herbivorous animals. Okay, we have learned no something called we keep evolving. We keep evolving. The animals keep on changing. You remember we were all like we say no, we have evolved from ape-like organisms. Ape, gorilla. Okay, we were gorilla or ape-like, and we have now slowly evolved. So during this evolution, we have lost certain organs, and this is one organ which is a proof that we have evolved from herbivorous animal. We have intestine. Now, small intestine has villi, finger-like projections called villi. Okay, and if you remember, I told small intestine is approximately 7 meter long. 7 meter. The canal is 9 meter long. This is approximately 7 meter long. It has got villi, and the function of the villi is to increase the area for absorption. So it provides more area for absorption. Okay. We call it as colon or large intestine. Large intestine is also called as colon. Large intestine is also called as colon. Transversely is called as transversely. The undigested food which is moving. Intestine, the food is being the good, like no, whatever is useful is being absorbed. Now, which is undigested keeps moving. And yeah, I kept on telling that from the mouth till the duodenum, we keep on adding juice. We add saliva in the mouth, then we add gastric juice in the stomach, then we add bile juice, we add pancreatic juice, we add intestinal juice. In addition to that, after eating food, we drink water. So we have been adding water continuously. So that water is whatever the secretions are there, it is reabsorbed for the functioning of the body. So it is reabsorbed. Proximal convoluted tubule. Proximal convoluted tubule. Proximal means which is close, which is close. So convoluted means it is a form of coil structure. Convoluted means coil structure. Now this is proximal convoluted tubule. Now which is away. Now this is called as distal convoluted tubule. Distal, which is away from it. Okay, and there is one hairpin like blood vessel or hairpin like tube. We don't call tube, it's called tubule. Tube is big, tubule is small. Now this is called as Henle's loop. Okay, it is called Henle's loop or loop of Henle. Okay, now the function of these three tubules, convoluted tubule, Henle's loop and distal convoluted tubule, is when the filtrate is moving through this, absorb which is useful and release or secrete, or it is like no, this blood which is coming out here, it will form a network around it. So whichever is needed from the blood it will take, and whichever it is not needed it will give back to blood. So that is counter current mechanism. If the filtrate is moving in this direction, the blood will be moving in the opposite direction. They exchange their material. Now what happens is, due to pressure, along with the waste materials, some useful materials also will get filtered. Okay, like in our this, when you are angry, along with the children who have made mistake, the other children also get, because you are with them. Similarly, because of the pressure, it is because of pressure, whether you don't want or you want, like no, normally, okay, like no, you are pushing, you are pushed. So here, now in the filtration, ultrafiltration, there is water also, there is glucose molecules, there is salt molecules, there is urea and uric acid, which are harmful. Now harmful as well as useful substances get filtered. So when it is passing through this, if the useful materials are okay, so when the filtrate is moving through this, useful materials from the filtrate, the blood picks it up. Useful materials which got filtered due to pressure is reabsorbed by the blood. In the same time, any harmful materials, because of its larger size, which could not get filtered, which may be in the blood, is taken, the blood gives it to the nephron here. Okay, so normally our kidney, the urine formation has three main functions or three main steps. One is ultrafiltration, the second one is tubular secretion. Okay, so the first step is ultrafiltration, the second step is tubular secretion, that means from the tubule which need to be reabsorbed is put into the blood. The third step is tubular reabsorption. Reabsorption means from the blood whichever materials need to be eliminated but they could not. Okay, Henle's loop, or it is also called as loop of Henle. It is a name of a person. It is a scientist. Okay, so the urine formation. Okay, urine formation has first is ultrafiltration. Ultrafiltration which occurs in Bowman's capsule. The second one is tubular secretion. Tubular secretion. The third one is tubular reabsorption. Okay, reabsorption. Now tubular secretion is due to pressure some of the useful materials got filtered, but our body needs it. Okay, so what happens is that is when it is moving from the tubule, it is sent to the blood. So blood. Okay. Now at the same time, if the blood has some harmful materials which need to be eliminated, so that is okay. That is one is reabsorption. Reabsorption. Other one is secretion. Secretion is from okay. Secretion is from filtrate to blood. Reabsorption is from blood to tubular secretion is blood puts it into filtrate. Reabsorption is from the filtrate. Okay, now here tubular reabsorption is water is reabsorbed. Now this reabsorption, okay, is under the influence of a hormone called as anti-diuretic hormone. We call it as ADH. ADH. Now here the main material which is reabsorbed is water. Now this is the one which is responsible for reducing from 180 liter to 1.5 liter. Okay. Now, so here ADH is secreted if your body doesn't have enough water. Okay. That means if you are suffering from
Okay. So in your blood, if there is less water, so we have to take now, or in the body you can say, okay. Now if the less water is there, then ADH is secreted. ADH is secreted. When the ADH is secreted, water is reabsorbed. Water is reabsorbed. When the water is reabsorbed, okay, concentration of urine. When the water concentration of urine is more or less, concentration of urine is more, and due to that, so we'll have, or urine is concentrated urine we eliminate. That means it will be, so the urine will be of dark yellow in color. So if the urine is of dark yellow in color, that means ADH is secreted in your body. Okay, but this is normally happens in case of summer, when we sweat a lot and we don't consume water. Okay, so normally when we are traveling we don't consume water, because if we may not get sufficient places on the way in the traveling, so we drink less water. So at such time, okay, if in your body or in your blood there is more water, okay, more water, that means no ADH is secreted. It is not secreted. No, so that means water not reabsorbed much, okay, and due to that, okay, so the dilute, okay, so dilute urine, and so more quantity here, less quantity. So we repeatedly, but one urination is half 500 ml only. But here in summer we go in a day once or twice. In winter more than 2 to 3 times. We keep, because it gets filtered, because it is not reabsorbed, so we have to send it out. Clear? Clear? So this is how the reabsorption takes place. Okay? Now, so we learned how the kidneys filter, we learned the function of nephron. Okay, now we keep hearing something called renal failure or kidney failure. Normally we keep telling, no, kidney failure, kidney has failed. Okay, yeah, anything, any doubt then? Okay, so the next is renal failure. Renal failure. Now, or kidney failure. Now, one is kidney fails because of insufficient blood supply. If the enough blood is not supplied for filtration and enough blood is not given to kidney for its functioning, okay, insufficient blood supply. The second, okay, injury to the kidney. The kidney gets injured due to some accident or due to somebody hits or stabs. Okay, the third one is infection of the kidney. So because of 3 reasons the kidney gets failed. Now the solution for kidney failure, or now one is, okay, permanent solution, okay, that is kidney transplantation. That means the kidney from a donor is implanted, or surgically it is, the kidney is removed, functioning And one thing remember, we can sustain, we can survive with one kidney. It is even we have two kidneys because we are bilaterally symmetrical, but one kidney is enough. So if a kidney fails, so you can donate one kidney, and the patient can survive with one kidney for certain days. For now, the lifespan can be increased. Okay. The second, the temporary solution is because the kidney getting, so no one, like nowadays we have such a fear that if I donate one kidney and if that one remaining kidney fails, to save someone's life, why should I put my life into danger? So it is getting very, it is very difficult. Second one, matching kidney we should get. The blood group and all it should match, because our body is built such a way that anything which does not belong to us, it will not keep it. It will not, our body will not keep it. It will try to push it out as much as possible. Okay. So even just one dust particle enters our nose, we sneeze and send it out. Some unwanted particle goes into our mouth, we vomit it. Okay. So similarly, anything which does not belong to our body is likely to reject it. So normally, that's how the reason what they do is, when they are transplanting the human kidney, they make your immune system weak. They say, you keep quiet now, I'm doing surgery. Don't reject it. So what happens that when the surgery is done, your immune system is reduced. So after surgery, that's why we get many diseases, because during surgery, it should not reject that organ what has been transplanted. So your immunity is made less. Okay, so normally it is similar. You have a dog in your house. It will bark whoever comes. But your friend comes, you say, no, keep quiet, keep quiet. So that person may take a disadvantage. He will come in the night to rob your house. Because morning you are told, don't bark, he is my relative or he is my known person. Yes? Okay. Now, so the temporary solution is, okay, it is artificial kidney. Okay. Artificial kidney doesn't mean that kidney is put into your body. So the artificial kidney is as big as your double door refrigerator. Don't think that artificial kidney will be small. It is a double door big refrigerator, there no? 200, 195, 200 liters. Okay. Now, it is called, so this process here, because blood is involved, now here it is called hemodialysis. There is a process called hemodialysis. Now this process is used in artificial kidney. Now dialysis means filtration of smaller particles holding back the larger particles. Dialysis, the meaning of dialysis means filtering of smaller units or smaller substances holding back the larger substances. Okay, since the blood is filtered here, now the process is called as hemodialysis. Now in the process of hemodialysis, okay, from the artery of the human being, the blood is taken, and to that a substance by name heparin is added. You have learned, I have told you in the blood lesson that whenever the blood comes out of the blood vessel, it will coagulate, it will clot. But if from the blood, arterial blood is withdrawn, if it is brought out of the body, it may clot. So to prevent clotting, heparin is added to it. And now this is, okay, there will be a dialysis machine which is simply like this. Okay. Okay, it will be like this. Okay, now this contains dialysing liquid whose concentration is similar to human or blood plasma. Similar to blood plasma. Now this is cellophane tube. Cellophane tube. You remember we keep learning something called semi-permeable membrane and permeable membrane. Now cellophane tube is a permeable membrane. It is permeable to, it will allow, from the blood is passing through this, blood is allowed to pass in this. When the blood is passing, the waste gets secreted here. Okay. Now one disadvantage in dialysis is there is no reabsorption. There is no reabsorption. Kidneys have the capacity to reabsorb the things what it needs, but in dialysis, in artificial kidney, there is no reabsorption. Okay. Now it is made to pass through this, and then again when the filtration is done, okay, then anti-heparin is added, because it is put back and then it is put into the vein of the patient. From the artery it is taken, preferably it is taken from the hand, because you have to lie down. In your textbook, the picture is, you can see a person is lying down and they have shown one instrument. Okay, from the artery is taken, it is passed bhagya. Okay, so it will pass through it continuously, it is done. Okay, so it is 2-3 times it is passed and then afterwards put back. After cleaning, it is put back into the vein. Now this all it has to be done in a hospital where they maintain all your the body temperature and all. So they have to maintain everything so that you don't get any other infection. Okay, so no, I don't know whether how many have you any of you have gone to the kidney foundation hospital here? Dialysis machine is there? Why?
No sir, they do some type of injection type.
Okay. Okay, so that is how the dialysis is done. Clear? So this is how the filtration. Now, so best thing is eat healthy food, maintain your health so that you protect your kidney and you function with your original organs